Well, hey everybody. Look who we got here. Let's rip one outdoors. Let's go take a ride, y'all. It's let's see, it must be about going on about 2 o'clock. It's on Memorial Day. And you probably say, Memorial Day? Well, didn't you and Mickey have a ride this morning? We did. But I just can't get enough of it. Can't get enough of that thing. Ripping and riding up and down the road. Bay St. Louis was great. Beautiful weather. It's a little hazy. It's kind of cloudy, whatever, but not that bad. Looks like they're having a big wing ding over at Cousin's house. Anyway, we're going to go check on the status of the loves they're putting in. So let's roll by the old checker road here. Somebody roll that intro. Yep, it's gonna roll over here and check on the status of the loves. All right, the equipment today, we're riding the Bandit 4Runner. Sweet, sweet, sweet Bandit 4Runner. Bump him up there. Let's get him on up, going a notch or two there. Not a whole lot of traffic out here today, so if I'm gonna come over here and show y'all something, I'd rather do it on a Saturday, because that's when folks is not working out at the test site. Yeah, I came by here the other day. Let's see, where was I going? I think I was going to get some groceries. I don't know, things have got all messed up for me. Took off Thursday and Friday. Me and Susan went up to Etheridge, Tennessee. Took a couple of days up there. Some of y'all saw me on Facebook. Up that way. It's about got to where when we go on vacation, that's where we go. And you'll say, why in the world would you want to go there? Because of the Amish farms. We like to go and look at the farms. We like to see things that were done. See things done like they were 50, 100 years ago. People making gardens with horses. I told y'all about it before. I mean, we used horses to make a garden one time, and I think our little tractor or whatever we had was broke down. But yeah, my daddy grew up making garden with horses. But yeah, we enjoyed it. You know, we don't spend a whole lot of time up there. You can see everything we want to see in like a day's time, or a day and a half, whatever. But I go up there. I love to see the contrast of the different fields that are planted, and all the Amish people have all the gardens planted right now, and they got tomatoes, potatoes, they got rutabagas, carrots, peas, beans, everything you can imagine planted. And it's amazing to watch that. And then right across the road from them is these thousands and thousands and thousands of acres that are farmed by the modern day farmers with them big John Deeres. It just It's amazing to me to see that on one side of the road, the Amish people are using the horses to pull in gather their wheat. And on the other side, they got these $1 million combines. Well, I don't have to answer many questions here, y'all. Y'all see what's going on here. This is the Loves. It's, from what I understand, it's 12 acres here that they bought. And there was an old house back in there Billy Mac lived in. They must have took it in because they got this whole thing. They got earth movers back here. They're gonna reshape this hill here. Got log trucks coming in here and getting a lot of this. Boy, there's some pretty oak over in there. I'm not gonna ride around over in there. I don't want to cause no heartburn. Look at that big John Deere yonder. See that big John Deere? That's the kind they had up there in them farm fields. Yep. Wish I had that Komatsu at the house there for a little while. Yeah, I just wanted to come over and give y'all a look at how the Loves is going. And we will be coming back. And we'll give y'all an update on that as it progresses. How about that? Do y'all care? I mean, probably don't. But hey, it gives me a reason to get out the house and gives me a reason to come on over. And I'm over riding anyway, so I just as well come over here and look at the Loves, right? Especially on a Saturday when it's not that much traffic here. I want to talk about a subject. I just sat and answered a comment by Miss Marilyn, who asked me about batteries. When you should charge a battery, if you should charge your battery. Question like that. And I appreciate Miss Marilyn. She's always very encouraging to me. And thank you, Miss Marilyn, for that. So we're going to do what we can to try to help you. I answered the best I could in the comment, but I said, why not just, sling this thing out there, like broadcast it where everybody can hear it, and you guys that are pros at it, if y'all hear me say something that you don't agree with, hey, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Go ahead and tell me and get me straightened out, because that's kind of like pronouncing that Jaguarante. Every time I do it, every time I try to pronounce that word, I pronounce it a different way. Well, somebody called my hand on it and told me I was pronouncing it wrong. Well, I guess if they listen to me pronounce it 10 times, they're going to hear me pronounce it 10 times a different way. But that's okay. I mean, she didn't mean nothing harmful by it. I didn't take it that way. So I just told her, thank you for correcting me on that. But I need me a pronouncer. I need me somebody to pronounce my words for me. But it's a little bit of clouds around, y'all. Looks like it might rain a little bit, but we're going to get off and try to see if we can take us a ride before it does. So talking about that battery, what Miss Marilyn asked me, she said, Richard, I usually go out and ride 10 to 15 miles. Or 10 to 12 miles, whatever. And should I charge my battery after every time? Here's the answer that I tried to give her. Based on my experience with e-bikes, which is, it's only been probably close to going on a year now. But I do have some experience with fooling with batteries. RC cars, RC planes, quadcopters. Hey, batteries are batteries. And now the batteries naturally that I'm going to use for a quadcopter is not the same size that you would use for a e-bike, and certainly wouldn't hold as much power, if I'm saying it right. But what I told her is, I said, Miss Marilyn, if you're only doing 10 to 12 miles, don't charge your battery after every use. And you say, why? Because you're only shortening your battery's lifespan, from what I understand. The more you charge your battery, the more it's going to shorten the lifespan. Now, whether you're going to notice that, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to notice that. But that's what I do. Miss Marilyn, I went out and rode, me and Mickey rode 20 miles at Bay St. Louis this morning. And I dropped 1 bar on that Jag Grundy. Can you believe that? I'm beginning to think I was going to have to let some... Hey, I'm beginning to think the bar wasn't going to go down on the display. But it finally did. It dropped 1 bar. And I'm not familiar with that kind of meter. What about it there, horses? I'm not familiar with that. I'm used to the Bandit, and I'm used to the Magicycle products with the display that they have. Or I'm talking about Magicycle. I'm talking about the Deer or the Cruiser. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I would not charge. I didn't charge my battery after I went 20 miles because, hey, it's only down 1 bar. So I'm not going to take it on a long trip. I'm just going to be using it around here for a little short goes. So that's the way I treat that. Now, if I was going to turn right around, I'd just put 20 miles on that battery, Miss Marilyn, and I was going to turn right around and go back tomorrow and go up on the Longleaf Trace where I thought I may be riding 30 miles. Oh, absolutely, I'm going to charge that thing to the fullest. And she asked me another question about should she let her battery set a while before you plug it in after you charge? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And I'm going to tell you by my experience why I'm saying yes. Let that battery relax. Let it relax. I would say an hour. That's what I say. By then, it's had time to cool off. Me and Donald and Joy and Mickey, we used to go fly these RC airplanes. When you're using that battery gets hot. Especially when you get close to draining it down to a point to where you need to stop. You know, take it off and change battery out. That battery gets warm. If I turned around after I took that battery off and that battery was warm and I immediately plugged that battery into the charger, you know what's going to happen to it? I could show you a picture of some there. I don't think I have them no more. I chunked them. But I could show you a picture if I had one of what happens to it. It swells. It's what we call puff. It goes poof like that. It puffs. And when it does that, what do you do with it, Donald, Joy, Mickey? Chunk it. Throw it away. It ain't no good for nothing no more. You can use it, but I promise you'll never get the performance out of it that you're used to getting. So there you go. Never charge that battery when it's hot. Never charge it when it's warm. You walk up there and you feel of it. But if you let a battery set for an hour before you charge it, it's going to be good. You go in there and plug it in. What happens is that battery has to have a relaxing time. And let's just say you drain a battery down to let's say 56%. Okay, there you go. On your meter there, on my meter, it says my battery down to 56%. If I let that thing sit for a while, and I go back out there and check it an hour later, that meter's going to come up and it's going to say 60, 63%. 63, 60, maybe 65%. I don't know. It varies. So there you go, Miss Marilyn. I hope that I've given you the right answer. And like I say, if I mess something up, some of y'all correct me on it, and I'll take that as constructive. I won't get angry about that. But yeah, no, I wouldn't charge after every ride. Not if you're just doing 10 or 12 miles, Miss Marilyn. You know what you can do? You could probably get 4 miles, four trips. You could probably get 4 trips before you needed to recharge your battery. Maybe 3, I don't know. You just have to judge it. And then there you go. Don't plug in a hot battery, and you'll be good. You'll add a little life to your battery by doing those things right there. Look how pretty and green the grass is, y'all. Seems like it's been a week or so, a couple of weeks since I've been over here. I think the last time I was over here, it had rained a lot. Talking about batteries, my mama drove a school bus, y'all, for years. And in fact, she retired from a school system where she drove a school bus. And for the biggest majority of time that Mama drove that school bus, she drove an old Chevrolet bus, and that thing had a standard transmission. Now, Joey and Donald and them, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but that thing had a standard transmission and she had to clutch that thing. And could you imagine what kind of clutch they was putting on a school bus back then? It had a spring on it. I don't know what the pounds of pull or push or whatever it had on it. I have no idea, but I can tell you this much. It wore out my mama's knee clutching that school bus. Old school bus number 2. Later on in life, I think they got her one with automatic transmission, but y'all, by that time the damage was done. And it wore my mama's knee out bad, and she had to have knee surgery and a complete knee replacement. And I know her knee hurt her all the time. We finally got her broke down and got her hooked up with a scooter. Got her a scooter chair. And she loved that scooter chair because that thing, it made her mobile again. And Mama, she could go places, and she could, now she never took it nowhere other than there on the hill there. You couldn't get her to load it up and go somewhere. She said, son, as long as I got any strength whatsoever, I won't never get in one of them buggies at Walmart. She said, I will walk. And I respect her for that. But them scooter people had to come down there. We was talking about batteries. Them scooter people had to come down there now and then and service her scooter. Because y'all, we talking about a country lady. What they doing? Guess they going and get some sod or something or another. But we talking about country people here. We're talking about my mama. Daddy had the garden planted, and Daddy may be gone off working somewhere, and if there was weeds that needed to be pulled or whatever, and all of us was working, well, it didn't matter if Mama was going to do what Mama was going to do, and that was simple as that. And she'd take that scooter and go take that thing down into the garden, and she would pick peas with her scooter. or pick butter beans or whatever, or snap beans. Had some good snap beans last night, some Kentucky Wonders. One time she got that thing stuck down there. And she come walking back up to the house on her cane. She said, y'all, you're gonna have to come help me. I got my scooter stuck down there in the garden. She'd run off where Rose crossed or something or another, and she got that thing stuck. So we had to go down there and pick it up. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, that thing wasn't light. It's about like, it was heavier than one of these e-bikes. But I told you they had to come and service her bike every now and then, especially the battery. It had the lead acid battery. That guy come down there and he got out of his truck. We pulled that scooter outside there where you could get to it and you could see work on it. He come back in there. He told Mama, he said, Miss Mitchell, I got to ask you a question. He said, where all in the world do you put this scooter at? He said, that thing's got pea vines wrapped up around the wheels on it. He said, it's a wonder it was even rolling. It had so many pea vines. Hey, Mama, she didn't care. She wanted to go in the garden with it. She gonna put it in the garden. Proud lady though. She wouldn't ride on she wouldn't ride no scooter at Walmart, I can tell you that. Old Billy Wayne back to work. It's like he's scooping in a little bit of sand there. Y'all, I think we're gonna hang it up with y'all here. We're gonna pull in here about where the old Minnow is. The Minnow. I always call it the Minnow. Anyway, yeah, y'all know the routine. Hey, if you think you might want to buy a bike, we got the Bandit link on there. We got Magicycle links on there. Whatever you decide you want to pick up, hey, if you use that link, it winds up helping our YouTube channel. So we appreciate that. Y'all, any of y'all got a question or concern, hey, rip1outdoors@gmail.com. And if you want to like and subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. We appreciate all the support we've been getting from our YouTube viewers. His channel's still growing, and we appreciate that. But yeah, we checked out the Loves, and we talked about some battery maintenance stuff, or battery, the way we operate our batteries, and hopefully we can help somebody with that.